Well, hey, welcome to the show before the show, where I check to make sure everything is working. I'm your host, Patrick Marlette, your local game guy, and after this, yes, yes, I have all these cards that I'm going to use in a series of skits for you guys. I'm going to try to film up 3 comedic shorts. It's been a while since I've had a moment to actually film something fun for myself. And while I wait to have some videos looked at by my MTG ambassador lords, so that you guys can check out all that Commander Masters content, we're going to be producing more than what's on the MTG ambassador, plan concept calendar. But I just haven't had a chance to film anything for myself, so that should be fun. I went over one of the scripts and I brushed up 2 other ones, so I've got 3 I want to shoot. I'm not entirely sure how I want to shoot one of them, but you'll see them as soon as you see them, and hopefully they're entertaining, as always. But how are you guys? Thanks for joining. So when we do this, you'll notice that we're over on Tapped Out. Again, use whatever editor you want, but if you join me on Tapped Out, the link is in the description. You can copy and paste this list to any other deck editor. You'll notice Commodore Guff is in the command zone for all of this. That's because Leori isn't on Tapped Out yet. And that's fair, right? That's fair. So Leori is actually going to be on the screen at the bottom, your bottom left, right? And it'll be there for the entirety of our deck tech. So whether you want to just brush up on what its triggered ability does and or review it during, it'll be there for you. But we'll be using Commodore Guff during Goldfishing, so ignore the fact that we're actively going to have a Planeswalker as the commander. Although Guff seems okay for a commander for a Super Friends list. I'm not going to lie to you, I've never done Super Friends. Ever. I've seen it. I've never tried to build for one. I don't know if there are any groundbreaking Jeskai Planeswalker combos. Please let me know, because I don't. I'm assuming, Teferi Chainveil, I don't know, that was its own deck a while ago. I'm assuming there's a couple things you can do with the Chainveil. That's about it. We're in the colors for an Intuition, Underworld Breach, Savine's Reclamation, Lion's Eye Diamond. So if we just want to add, cEDH combos into this deck, we can, and maybe that'll be part of the conversation before we actually start. Because Super Friends, in my opinion, isn't inherently cEDH. No one's really playing out, I don't know, maybe Atraxa. Maybe there's a fun Atraxa build, the one that proliferates. I don't know. Anyway, happy Wednesday. Still super hot up there. Shaughnessy, yeah. It's not so bad today. It's actually been, as is tradition. Every time I or my fiance or the both of us go out to go grocery shopping, it rains. It always rains, without fail. So of course, it rained just for when I was literally, there was a little brief spat of rain just when I was walking back from the grocery store. Always. Always. So that was actually nice because it helped to cool things down, but I don't think it's going to peak above 80 today, but it was 100 something last week. It's insane. You're in Jeskai colors, something in that. Right. So far as Jeskai is concerned, again, I'm really looking at Azorius for those Teferis. Blue for Jace, obviously. Chandra, which I've also put in that poll that's still ongoing, which I'll probably close out. I'm surprised no one wants to see Jace. Is there just a general dislike of Jace out in the community? 4%, there you go. Jace got a little bit of love there near the end. But yeah, Teferi 50%, 31% want to see Chandra. 13% say none of these. I want blank in the comments. So if you don't know, Leori, you get to name a type of Planeswalker. And the type is just the name of the Planeswalker. Some Planeswalkers have a multitude of prints, Chandra Dressed to Kill, Chandra Acolyte of Flame. They're all Chandra Planeswalkers, though. So the idea being, when you do combat damage with Leori, and we'll look at Leori in a second, you can double down on those effects. We'll look at it in a second. I live in Arizona, so right now it's 116 degrees. Sheesh, my folks live in Arizona, Pub Stomp. And yeah, it's pure hell for my dad. My dad hates the heat. But yeah, it's been hot. Teferi and Kitten combos. Right, so Displacer Kitten. I don't think Displacer Kitten's a bad idea. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, exile up to one target non-land permanent you control, then return that card to the battlefield under its owner's control. To my knowledge, there isn't a thing that works as effectively as a doubling season with a Planeswalker like you would find in any list containing green. But there are effects that help with the counter manipulation on Planeswalkers that we could potentially use. One of the cards that we mentioned, well, so you haven't seen the video yet. Ickermoon Gauntlets, I believe is what they're called, Ickermoon. So, I might as well show you guys. And you'll see Leori is on the bottom there. It's a little annoying that it's when it deals combat damage. I kind of hate that fact. Like, they're really forcing you into this situation. Also, it's slow. So, we're going to put Leori out, and then we're just going to cross our fingers. I think Leori is clearly a priority, and then our Planeswalkers, you know, they're not summoning sick in the slightest. They're able to use those cost activations to do whatever their abilities are. But Ickermoon Gauntlet is kind of dope. If we have a lot of Planeswalkers, we're able to proliferate quite a bit, and then we can potentially ult one of our Planeswalkers. But I mean, that's not necessarily game if we do that. But it is something fun to do. But this is a new artifact that should be easy enough to find, especially if we're using Tezzeret to find this. But whenever you cast a non-creature spell, choose a counter on target permanent, put an additional counter of that kind on that permanent. So this is by itself a great way to manipulate our counters for our Planeswalkers. But it also just gives our Planeswalkers proliferate for 0, which reads virtually as +1, and then you also have the -12 of taking an extra turn, which is kind of insanity. But I do think there is something here for us, and I would like to explore that. We'll see. Lazaz. Lazav. Whenever a creature is put into an opponent's graveyard from anywhere, you may have Lazav copy them again. I don't feel like that's the one you're talking about. Become a copy of target creature from the graveyard when mana costs X. Alright, is this one you're talking about? Alright. Are there any new talents of worth for cEDH? Talents? Is this like a subtype? I don't know, Espresso. Extra combats, name more Planeswalker types. Right. So it's funny you mentioned that. I was actually looking up, before we jumped on stream, I was looking up additional combats. I do want to stick with just looking over Planeswalkers first and foremost to give us sort of an idea of what kind of friends we're bringing to the party. This Planeswalker party. I've got the box over there. I was going to do a series of shorts once all of these were announced. I'll probably get around to filming those soon. Just to go over the 10 new cards from each Commander Precon. I think most of this set, like a majority of all sets, we usually recommend you just buy singles. This is one of those sets where the card you want, if it's an art buy, is likely going to be affordable. There are a few catch rares from the set, though, obviously, that are going to drive a hard bargain. So, like any other set, just buy the singles from it. That's why I wanted to highlight the 10 new cards from these precons for you guys. One of the videos we have being looked at currently is a top 10 new cards, right? So it's just the ones we would snap up from all of the precons. And I go over specifically which precons they're coming in, so it's easier for you to find. Hopefully that's useful. But yeah, I have the precons behind me. I can't show you one of them. I think Zuladox, I don't know which ones. I know that this one, Planeswalker Party, has been spoiled. And I know that another one's been spoiled. But I think all of them will be spoiled tomorrow. Officially, all of them will be spoiled tomorrow. But at any rate. Do we want Planeswalkers with good value +1s or removal minuses? I feel copying ultimates is redundant since they usually win the game by themselves. Yeah, I'm not too worried about copying ultimates necessarily. Although I do want some back-breaking ultimates in here, right? I think Chandra, the ultimate on the 4-cost Chandra, the one... What the heck? Oh. Where is she? It's my favorite Chandra. Is she not 4 cost? Am I insane? Are you still... You're not looking at this one. Torch of Defiance. There you go. This is my all-time favorite. Her album's great. Whenever you cast a spell, this emblem deals 5 damage to target creature or player. That's fantastic. And that's pretty backbreaking. And obviously, that's its own outlet with your Underworld Breach lines of play. James, wrong name. Lizelle. Lizelle is the background legendary, correct? Right. So, is that what you meant by talents, Espresso? Maybe. So the copy ability of Leori doesn't remove a Planeswalker counter, right? No. So just to answer your question, so I've got Chandra up on the screen now. One of the best Planeswalkers right here. I absolutely love this card. But Leori reads, when it deals common damage to a player, choose a Planeswalker type. Let's just say Chandra in this instance. Until end of turn, whenever you activate an ability of a Planeswalker of that type, copy the ability. You may choose new targets for the copy. No. So if I go +1, add 2 red mana to your mana pool, I'll copy that. It'll give Chandra +1, but the copy will be placed on the stack, so I'll gain 2 red mana, and then I'll gain an additional 2 red mana from her loyalty ability going off. All right. It's a cost associated with the card. You don't get another +1 counter for it. You just get the copy of the effect, which is, I mean, it's still very good. I do agree, though, that I think Displacer Kitten makes a great deal of sense here. Just being able to flicker the card, because the way Leori reads, until end of turn, whenever you activate an ability of a Planeswalker of that type, Displacer Kitten doesn't care, nor Leori doesn't care whether the Planeswalker was on the battlefield prior. Like, I can name any Planeswalker type and then cast said Planeswalker. Right? It wouldn't need to be on the battlefield. It's not searching the battlefield to see if I have that Planeswalker in play. So we can actually use Displacer Kitten to great effect here. So I agree with James's earlier comment. Will's Talent, for example, I think they're enchant Planeswalker auras. Oh, I'll look up what you're referring to. There's a couple of, like, Planeswalker specific cards. Maybe there's some good ones to run with. I don't necessarily know. I think a majority of the cards I'll be searching for are just decent Planeswalkers. Keyword being decent, because I don't know how your Planeswalkers are actually going to roll within this deck, but a fair amount, I would hope. Especially in this set, it's going to be impossible to make your EV back and get the cards you can't, since it's so top heavy. Pricing is outrageous. Yeah, I don't know. There's no MSRP on this set, right? Are folks just upcharging? I haven't looked at the prices for Commander Masters. Again, I usually wait till the set is out and then just buy the singles. So I'm never really looking at the wholesale cost of like a box or a couple of packs, unless I'm attending a pre-release. Eldrazi is the last one, right? I think so. Eldrazi, spoiler? A majority of the cards that we liked are from the Eldrazi one. I think I can say that. It's pretty decent. There's some cool reprints in there too. Rowan, not Will. There's the Elspeth one too. Just a reminder, the loyalty ability is a cost. Right. Want, not, can't. Alright. Comet Stellar Pup. Do we want to copy Rolling a Die? Comet is not a bad card, but I don't know if Comet's necessarily appropriate for Commander. Let's go... Why isn't it by mana value? Let's just change this up real quick. I mean, this is the first thing we're going to do, genuinely. You'll notice that the land base is not set in stone. There's one, like, oddity in there, and it's Karn's Bastion. I can't say if this is absolutely necessary, but it's proliferate on a land, and we're going to be running with a bunch of Planeswalkers, potentially, right? So I wanted some utility in here that's going to play along with the general strategy. Again, in my mind, the Super Friends list that we're going to be making today, you know, if you follow the channel, if you've watched the brews here, generally we lean towards cEDH, but I can't rightly tell you that cEDH has a spot for a Super Friends build. Like they're maybe the 5-color Sisei, right? That might make for a good Super Friends deck, but there aren't that many. So what I want to do is make a fun Planeswalker centric build that obviously relies on Leori, excuse me, triggered ability. And then has some tried and true combos in there just to get the ball rolling on a win, ultimately once we've sort of established a board presence. So we're probably going to want to stick with some amount of stacks, a fair amount of Planeswalkers, decent interaction, and we're in the right colors. Like red and blue have decent interaction. Red has mostly destruction, but there's some good redirects in there and some copy effects. I don't know how many of those we're actually going to roll with. And white has stacks for us. So we got everything we need here. So we'll see if it's good. let's say that. If you buy a box, it comes out to more than $15 a pack, 12 pounds a pack. $15 a pack. That's crazy. You know what's crazier? Like, just due to the availability of the print run from, you'll know I talk about One Piece a lot because I'm playing it quite a lot. But the first set, Romance Dawn, was very expensive for a good while, and like $13 to $15 a pack. I don't think it's that much now because the set's been reprinted quite a bit. But now you can buy packs for $8, which is nice. There aren't that many great. I feel like they've definitely evolved from their first set of One Piece, and the packs are, I'd say the cards are much better now. OPO3 in yellow is disgusting, and you'll probably see some videos on the channel soon regarding, I feel more than confident enough now with my deck building and my play to provide good feedback on how to build a One Piece deck. But the first set, there's a few cards that are really broken, and there's a few cards that set the standard for other cards, and then there's just a few cards that are so finicky and bad that you'll never really play them. At any rate, I'd love it if some of these live deck techs we built casual decks together and optimized for fun rather than cEDH. Right, and cEDH can be fun too, though, right? Just a different level of fun, different form of fun. The land base here is definitely cEDH price, right? It has all the dual lands, but it just means it's efficient. So Ancient Tomb again and Karn's Bastion are probably the only things that are odd because, you know, our commander clearly cost Jeskai. So unless we're trying to pay for commander tax, the Balan's Tomb is probably not going to be too viable unless we're putting out an Arcane Signet or something like that, any sort of Signet or Talisman. I'm happy to build this however you guys want, though. Like, we don't have to. Let's see here. Shall we make this? And you know what's like, I would happily do casual, but I will need help because I don't know. I'm not a casually minded player. With like any game. It doesn't even matter if it's a board or card game. Specifically border card games, though. Anytime I look at a game, I immediately think of how I can make the most optimal plays or how I can make the most efficient, best play lines with what I see in front of me. You know, my wheels start turning immediately in that sense. So I'm not very casually minded, I suppose. But with assistance, we can get the ball rolling on that. And I would be happy to make a casual Planeswalker deck. I want to make more lists that I can take to any store and play. You know, part of my issue, I go out for a lot of One Piece these days because, you know, it's a format that kind of lends itself to competitive play. There's only one real format. There is, like, I think duels and triples, if I'm not mistaken. I've played 2v2 though. 2v2 is very fun. And there's, you know, obviously a different dynamic to that. Like how you deck build. You can build to specifically play with a partner. But when it comes to Commander, there's so much variance with decks, even casual, especially specifically casual decks. You know, someone might say their deck is casual, but they do roll with combos and are able to get to very quick play lines that enact a win that doesn't rely on combat. And my list, the ones I build, I try to bake in as much interaction as possible, but a lot of cEDH can be very solitary. And a lot of my decks are sort of oriented towards doing a thing very quickly or efficiently, or hampering everyone's play, right, if it stacks. Not that much control. I don't play much blue magic in Commander or any blue magic, so I don't have much by way of control. But I do want to start constructing other lists in paper that I can take anywhere and feel confident that, you know, it won't be me pub stomping people with a list that's several thousands of dollars. Because let's be frank, a lot of the most efficient cards are going to be costly. So yeah, I mean, I'd love to play more casually if possible, just so I can go to more game stores and like find a spot to play and not feel out of place. But yeah, well, we'll do whatever you guys want today. And on that note, I think it's fair. Like, I'm going to go for the people that are just jumping in. Welcome. We've been doing the show before the show, this thing we do here where I just chat with you guys. Basic Q&A. We can chat about anything. I happen to be an MTG ambassador. This is not a sponsored bit of content. But if you want to ask me about this set or my thoughts on it, I think I'm free to share. However, Leori is something that I was extremely excited about. Oh, poor cat. So that I think it's, to my understanding, that it is designed after this creature that was bonded to Lukka, but not necessarily the same creature. So don't be sad. I don't know if that's necessarily Leori there in Kudro. But Leori, Sparktouched Hunter, is Jeskai, so 3 mana total, 3/3, flying vigilant cat. That's kind of cool. So you get to keep a blocker around for your Planeswalkers. And why do I say that? Because whenever Leori Sparktouched Hunter deals combat damage to a player, choose a Planeswalker type until end of turn. Whenever you activate an ability of a Planeswalker of that type, copy that ability. So you might choose new targets for the copy if target selection is part of the process. That's cool. That's kind of run-of-the-mill when it comes to copy effects. To reiterate, this does not mean you get an additional loyalty counter for it. You just put another of that effect on the stack. That's all you're copying, right? Not the cost, just the effect. So, I have never built Super Friends. I'm going to need all the help today, and I hope you're ready, because there's a couple of Planeswalkers to look through. I'm not going to go over a certain mana cost, just because at a certain point, we're not going to get the kind of return on investment for like a Planeswalker that's 7 mana or something, right? In most cEDH games, at least if we're trying to gear this towards a high power or cEDH, well, let's be honest, this is probably going to be high power more over anything, because like I've said, like Planeswalkers just don't lend themselves too well to cEDH settings. There's a handful of that sort of broken the mold. I can think of Narset, Part of Veils. I can think of Oko. Oko was played for a good while there. Jace Vryn's Prodigy. There was even a deck for Jace. I mean, there's stuff that, you know, breaks the mold, but a majority of Planeswalkers aren't usually seen in a cEDH setting. But I think this will be an interesting challenge if we take it that way. There is an ongoing poll. It looks like 47% of people want to see a casual build. 53% want to see a competitive build. And by the way, I mentioned I'm an MTG ambassador. Cool. There is a program in place, I think, to give me bits or bops or coins or things to put into the MTG arena machine. I've wanted to try Brawl. I believe it uses the standard card pool. I've never played Brawl, but it's supposed to be just like Commander. If Brawl is something you guys would want to see, let me know. I might just try. I'll be trying it privately, not publicly. But I would play streams if you guys want to see Brawl played and just someone crush people in a standard format. I think it's like you can do a legacy. Is that what it's called? You can do a legacy build or a standard build, and I would probably just build for standard if they give me bits and bops to open up packs and like entertain you guys, which would be fun. That's just one of the perks of being an MTG ambassador. So like Magic then, some Time Twisters, some insert any alpha creature here. Donald says Wanderer has no type. No. It doesn't. The Wanderer doesn't. The Wanderer is an oddity. We can't name it's. I don't know why Wanderer isn't a type. There must be a lore reason, but I don't know. The problem with interaction in cEDH is that since you need ETBs on everything, and any interaction that isn't counterspell is basically worthless, meaning non-blue decks that don't have stacks can't interact. Yeah, and we just got a reprint of a really good piece of interaction in black called Imp's Mischief, but like interaction cards are far and few between outside of blue. That doesn't, that isn't to say that blue is the only competitively viable color. It's generally the largest part of the color pie of a deck that incorporates blue, but that's namely because the interaction scene in blue is the best. It's the best. Let's be frank. But I want to go ahead and start by just looking over our Planeswalkers to see what we have and see what we might potentially play in this list. Then I want to look at something that was hinted at earlier, which is additional combat. I think additional combat makes a great deal of sense here, namely because it gives us the opportunity to name a different type, Planeswalker type. So I think if we were to do this twice until end of turn whenever you activate ability, if we were to use Leori's ability twice and name the same type of Planeswalker, let's just say I named Basri, then I think Basri we'd get the thing twice. But I don't know how effective or meaningful that will actually be to our game. I think the Planeswalkers we're rolling with, like, it'll be good if it just happened twice. Like, it'll be great if it just happened off Leori triggering once. Like, I don't know if baking in a whole additional combat strategy is necessary. The only combat tricks I want to see that are additional are the ones that go infinite, because I'm just that kind of player. Who knows? All right, so Jace Vryn's Prodigy, draw a card, discard a card. If you have 5 or more cards in your graveyard, exile Jace Vryn's Prodigy, bloop. So the +1 ability is okay. You may cast target instant sorcery card from your graveyard this turn. If that card would be put into your graveyard this turn, exile instead. That's okay. I forget what the general strategy of the Jace cEDH list were. I don't see it anymore. This is one of those lists that's just sort of faded into obscurity. But if you play Jace Vryn's Prodigy, let me know what you would want to do with Jace and Leori. The new Mortal Kombat looking Planeswalker, I'm excited to use. The new Mortal Kombat looking Planeswalker? Let me know the name and we'll take a look if it's in Jeskai. Could copy the trigger too. Oh, that's true. We get isn't that easier, Donald's? Just using like a Strionic Resonator. Draw a card, then discard a card at random. Tybalt's fine. I'm trying to see like 1 damage up to 1 target player Planeswalker. I don't think we want Chandra dressed to kill. Cool card though. I like Chandra, Acolyte of Flame. I used her before in Wart the Raid Mother. I still think she's good. Basri, Cat. I don't think I've ever read Basri. Whenever 1 or more non-token creatures attacks, create that many +1/+1 attack. It's okay. It's okay. Make everyone made with yeah. I like the Space Balerion. I think, and it's playable, right? It's from that Unfinity set, but I believe it's a playable Planeswalker. I like the flying Double Strike, actually. Doesn't Double Strike deals combat damage, right? Hold up. We didn't even think about Double Strike, did we? Johnny, Caller of the Pride. So put a +1/+1 counter on target creature. That's okay. -3, target creature gains flying. We already have that. But Double Strike. Double Strike's giving me thoughts. We can actually use Double Strike to get this to trigger twice. So if we have, Dak Faden, target player draws 2 cards and discards 2 cards. That's really good with, I love Dak Faden. I'm going to put Dak Faden in anyways, because gain control of target artifact, copying that, just stealing value is so good. All right, so I know this first Planeswalker I want to add. And we might look into some Double Strike utilities. Might. Okay, give me the good ones that you would want to see in a Jeskai list, but let's not go overboard, I don't think. Chandra of Fire of Kaladesh. Nah, hasn't been playable. What's the 2-mana extra turn that does untap lands? That doesn't untap lands? Seems super good in this deck. The 2-mana extra turn. I gotta look that up. Are you sure you don't lose the game at the end of that turn? It's not like a Final Fortune kind of effect, is it? Dovin until end of turn. And again, feel free to holler any cards that you would like to see in this list. We're on Planeswalkers now, but I'm happy to discuss anything. If we can keep it to Planeswalkers, that'd be great. That would be really great for me. But, you know, don't worry about my feelings. Until end of turn, whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to a player, put a loyalty counter on Dovin Grand Arbiter. Well, we want to do damage with the cat, so that makes sense. Create a 1/1 colorless stop your artifact creature token with flying. Whenever a creature you control, when it's not whenever one or more, it's whenever a creature, huh? So look at the top 10 cards, put 3 of them into your hand and the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. That's a weak ultimate. It's a very weak ultimate. I want emblems. I want things that are groundbreaking. Artifacts, instant sorcery spells your opponent's cast cost 1 more to cast. That's kind of cute. Until your next turn, prevent all damage that would be dealt by target permanent opponent controls. I like the one-sided tax, but I can't say that this is a great card, so no. Vronos Masked Inquisitor. I'll look up Vronos really quick. Oh, this is the new one. Right, so Vronos, I think, comes from Planeswalker Party, correct? So for 5 mana, 5 loyalty, up to 2 target Planeswalkers you control phase out at the beginning of the next end step. Right, so it's a Planeswalker Protection Committee. For each opponent, return up to 1 target non-land permanent that player controls to its owner's hand. That's a good -2. And target artifact you control becomes a 9/9 artifact creature and gains vigilance indestructible, and this card can't be blocked. Vronos isn't bad. It's a little costly. I want to see what other Planeswalkers we hit before we actually add that one in, though, Steven. But tell me why you like Vronos, though. I'm curious. I mean, it's good. It's up there, though. I was gonna stop at the 5 CMC range, I think, with Planeswalkers. Savor the Moment is 1 and double blue. Take an extra turn. Skip the untap step of that turn. Well, I'd savor the moment for now. I actually kind of like that effect. Gideon Blackblade. I don't mind until end of turn. I don't mind the Gideons here. I like the emblem of you can't lose if you control a Gideon Planeswalker. Or you can't lose and your opponents can't win. Like, I've never minded Gideon of Trials. I don't know if he's good enough, but he's fine. Each player draws a card. No, we're not going to do that. Yeah, just feed those Orcish Bowmasters. No thank you, Jace. Whenever one or more creatures you control deals combat damage to a player this turn, draw a card, then discard a card. All right, so it makes Leori a looter. That's cute. You can create illusions, and then this no. Sorry, Cunning Castaway. We're not gonna use you. The Mirror Mage, though. Kicker 2. Enters the battlefield. If Jace is kicked, create a token that's a copy of Jace Mirror Mage, except it's not legendary and starts with 1 loyalty. Right, so that's the first one to die. Scry 2. It's really just going to be the Crom swinging at us. That's going to do it. Vronos Masked Inquisitor, especially with Vigilance, it's double as an extra combat, and we can activate Planeswalker abilities twice to boot. That's not bad at all. Honestly, all of the free extra, all of the cheap and or extra turns, Leori wouldn't be bad, just in general. So maybe that's something to consider. It's the phasing out that I love. Planeswalkers are kill on sight. Plus Teferi's Protect is one of my favorite cards ever, and I love phasing. I'm with you on that. Here, I've got a Mango Lukka I want to try out. Don't mind me. Draw a card and reveal it. Remove a number of loyalty counters equal to the card's converted mana cost from Jace Mirror Mage. Oh, Jeskai Thrice Reborn. Is there a play line for infinite Jeskai damage? Maybe. Might be a little convoluted. Whenever an opponent attacks one or more Planeswalkers you control, put a loyalty counter on each Planeswalker you control. I actually don't mind Mila already. I know that Lukka's on the back. Whenever a permanent you control becomes the target of a spell or ability an opponent controls, draw a card. I might put Mila in. It just seems cute enough to work. But let's see what Lukka does. You may discard a card. If you do, draw a card. If a creature card was discarded this way, draw 2 cards. Return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield against haste. That's actually not bad for Leori. If Leori gets got and we have Lukka in hand, we can do that. But I think Mila is probably what we're more into. I like Mila quite a bit, especially if we use any sort of token doubling effect. That's not so bad. Mu Yanling, Sky Dancer. No. Although the emblem to give islands draw a card is not bad, but she is 2 loyalty on the entry. Not that much. She needs some help. Needs a little bit of help. Narset, Parter of Veils. Yes. I will put Narset in for now. Part those veils, girl. Part those veils. I don't think I've seen Nico before. Nico Heirs enters the battlefield, create X shard tokens. They're enchantments with 2 sacrifice this enchantment, scry 1, then draw a card. That's kind of cool. Oh, I see. You need to put you. Okay, that might be rough. Up to 1 target creature you control can't be blocked this turn. Whenever that creature deals damage this turn, return it to its owner's hand. I don't know if we want to do that with Leori. That doesn't seem great. Okay, deals 2 damage to target tapped creature for each card you've drawn this turn. Not that good. Is this Rowan good? I don't recall. Instant sorceries cost 1 less to cast. That's cute. Ral Zarek seems a good shout. Ramps for 2 with copy only costs 4 mana and can take up to 10 extra turns of the ultimate. Oh yeah, we'll add Ral. Actually, I do like Ral. Ral's one of the better ones. Is it just Ral Zarek? I think he's coming up. Let me just look for him really quick. Hold on. Are there multiple Ral Zareks? My internet is dying. I'm gonna look over some of these other ones while that's loading. Sahili, oh, there you go. Nope, just Ral Zarek. Okay, he's in. I like it. A lot. Sahili Sublime Artificer. Whenever you cast a spell, create a 1/1 colorless servo artifact creature token. That's a dope effect. I don't know if it's really for this format necessarily. You may discard a card if you do draw a card. Teferi Time Raveler. Let's just cut to the chase. I think we want Teferi Time Raveler. Yes. Yes, okay. We do, right? We want Teferi Time Raveler? Just checking. Let me know if I'm off here. Enter the battlefield, create a defending flying wall. That's cool. You and target opponent each draw a card. I can't say I love that. No, we're good on that. Okay. The Royal Scions. I remember them just being okay. I want the double strike, though. Is there another Ajani with double strike? I mean, the ability to give flying is kind of cool, too, but it's not necessary for our needs. Our Archangel Elspeth. Ooh. Oh, you know what? I know I want Chandra, Torch of Defiance. That much I can say. Probably should have started with the word Chandra. Wait up. Cool. Okay. Ooh, let's read the pup really quick, people. It's important that I know if this pup is playable for us. Because imagine just getting to roll a bunch of dice. 1 to 2. read amongst yourselves really quick. I'm gonna drink this coffee. I'm on mango, Lukka, and coffee right now. Need all of it. The squirrels are cute. The 3 is good. None of this is bad. White gives a lot of Planeswalker tutors, like Arena Rector and such. Yeah, we could do, there's more than that, but Arena Rector is the first one that comes to mind. Would it be more efficient to focus on a few highly efficient walkers and aim to tutor them instead of spreading too wide, to a bunch of variety? Espresso, I'm 100% with you. I think that what I want to do now is sort of just find our core or potential core Planeswalkers. I, to be frank, don't, know all of the playable Planeswalkers, so I'm just giving them all a read. Jace the Mind Sculptor is a pretty good one. But ultimately, we're going to make a lot of cuts here. Like, we're not going to keep every Planeswalker we're adding right now. We will ultimately make a few cuts, but I think that having a few Planeswalker tutors is going to be a good idea, for sure. Jace Builder of Mysteries, I don't really care. Guys, if you want to incorporate like a Thassa's Oracle style win, we can. Let me know. I don't think I've seen The Perfected Mind. I don't think I've ever read this card. That's cool. It's not good though. The Mind Sculptor is good. He's very good. We'll go with him. Return another target non-land permanent to its owner's hand. I do like the bounce effect. Look at the top 2 cards of your library. Put them into your graveyard. Put one of them into your graveyard, rather. Okay. That's cute. I think no, though. Karn Living Legacy. I like Karn Scion of Urza quite a bit. Reveal top 2 cards of your library, and opponent chooses one of them. This one's not bad. Good. It's good value. I like Karn the Great Creator as well, but Living Legacy, I don't know. It's a artifact, a tapped. Well, creating 2 of them is kind of cute, though. It's just a colorless generating stone, power stone. It's not so bad. Pay any amount of mana. Look at that many cards from the top of your library, then put one of those cards into your hand, the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. When you do something like this, the effect reads pay any amount of mana. I don't know how this effect works when you copy it. I think when you copy it, so you say, let's just say we say 7. We'll do the -1. We'll say we'll pay 7 mana. We're going to look at the top 7 cards of our library. After which we're able to copy it. I think it's going to take on the 7. The copy will take on the 7, and we'll be able to like dig 14. That's really not trash. I don't think the generic is going to be too useful for us, though, unless we're trying to make up the cost of other Planeswalker cast. But I might just put these Karns in for now and see how we feel. I pulled a foil Phyrexian text version of Perfected Mind during pre-release. Crashed in price before I could sell it. That stinks. Sorry, man. Sorry, bye. But yeah, I haven't bought packs in a while. I was, again, the MTG ambassador thing. They send stuff. Like the benefit of getting the Commander precons in advance for me is just being able to see what's inside of them. Normally, I don't buy precons, but getting to see what we're getting that's new is hyper useful for obviously scripting in advance, which is what we use these packs for. Paying the mana isn't the part that costs, so you have to pay more. Right. So like in the past, if something had an additional casting cost, if there was a cost associated with a thing like X equals, and you paid that, it takes into consideration X equals. But the fact that it's in the effect with Living Legacy, you're right. I just wanted to believe otherwise. We're gonna remove it. That's not good. Okay. Again, we're not going to go too much further into this Planeswalker party. Just because we're hitting a critical mass of Planeswalkers here, and I'm going to look at the tutors for our Planeswalkers in a second. Narset of the Ancient Ways, she's not bad. You gain life, add Jeskai, spend this mana only to cast non-creature spells. Huh. Draw a card, then discard a card. You get emblem whenever you cast a non-creature spell, emblem deals 2 damage to any target. I like Narset of the Ancient Way. Oh. Let me know if there's any more Planeswalkers you really want, and I will incorporate them. Like you must have, and I'll incorporate them. Ooh, this Nahiri is really sick. But once I hit like the end of the 4 drops here, I'm gonna give it a break. X is always part of the cost, same as additional costs. Yeah, unfortunately, Karn is worded the worst way. Tell me about it. Completed. Until your next turn, target creature attacks a player each combat if able. Well, we're gonna do that. Discard a card, then draw a card. Exile target creature or enchantment equipment card, rather, with mana value less than Nahiri's loyalty from your graveyard. Creature that's a copy. That's kind of cool, I guess. That's kind of cool. Nahiri's not horrible. I think the discard a card, then draw a card, like the Rummage effect, is probably what we'll use most on her, but I don't think we're going to use her. We've got the good ones, though. Rattle, Storm Conduit. Whenever you cast it, it's a sorcery spell, it deals 1 damage turn. Good there. Saheeli. Good there. Teferi, Master of Time. You may activate abilities of Teferi, Master of Time on any player's turn anytime you can do an instant. So getting to the 2 extra turns wouldn't be too difficult. Someone said they wanted Space Balerin, by the way. I'll put Teferi, Master of Time for sure. Right. After this, I want to do a double strike search. Extra turn, double strike. Teferi who slows the sunset. Yeah, I have not heard of this one. I'm gonna say it's probably not worth it. And sorry, the Wandering Emperor, who has no name. Dang. Oh, I guess the only other one I would want to potentially include is the Tezzeret the Seeker. Because this Tezzeret's pretty good. Namely for the negative X ability, we're going to try to find those Ichor Moon Gauntlets. Whenever you draw a card, put a loyalty counter on Teferi Temporal Pilgrim. Huh. Target opponent chooses... Let me just look up all the Teferis too, because Teferis are historically good. I just want to look at the Planeswalkers, specifically. We're not going to add any sort of combo with this one, so we don't need the Temporal Archmage. I don't hate this 5-cost one, but I think we're going to use it. Hero of Dominaria. Draw a card at the beginning of your next end step, untap 2 lands. I kind of like that. Put target non-land permanent into its owner's library, 3rd from the top. 3rd from the top? You get an emblem with whenever you draw a card, exile target permanent opponent controls. Well, we're really crossing our fingers on that. He is 5 CMC also. We're going to skip that. But we'll do... we want to keep it within colors. So let me just do search Planeswalker and see if we can find our Planeswalkers more easily. So the Arena Rector was mentioned. She does need to die, and we don't have a good way to kill her. But call the Gatewatch. Call the Gatewatch, I don't mind. Like, we're not in black, so we don't have a good way to find our Planeswalkers elsewise, so we're probably going to rely on these mostly. Chandra's Outburst is way too expensive. Jeru is way too expensive. Does he put it into the battlefield? No. Okay. Ignite the Beacon, search your library for up to Planeswalkers, reveal them, put them into your hand, then shuffle. The fact that this is instant speed, excuse me, it makes it somewhat redeemed, but Urza Silex. Each player chooses 6 lands they control, destroy all other permanents. When Urza Silex is put into exile from the battlefield, you may pay 2. If you do, search your library for a Planeswalker, reveal it, put it in your hand, then shuffle. Ooh. When it's put into exile from the battlefield, you may pay 2. I don't know if we want to use this. I don't know if we want to use Urza Silex. But it's a good thought. Search your library for a nope. Nope. Wow, just call the Gatewatch, I suppose. That hurts. Alright, Double Strike. Let's go ahead and look up Double Strike really quick, see if there's any utilities we can use. Target Double Strike? Okay. So, gotta organize this by mana value, of course. I don't know if it's good enough to say we need a salt strobe. Like, there's a lot of things that need to happen in this world to make this pop off as effectively as we want, right? We need Leori to be out. We also need people to be okay with Leori being out. And we also need a Planeswalker to be out, right? And then we can do sorcery speed Assault Strobe. Assault Strobe is a trick in Neheb I used to play. I can't say that it'll be great here. Since we're in blue-white, maybe a bunch of blink effects. I agree. Oh, you know what? Just speaking of Displacer Kitten. Sorry. We can put that in immediately. That should have been in earlier. I'm going to skip the double strike because I don't think it's as good as my mind led me to believe is when I thought about it. But I do think that there is room for extra turn. Okay. I mean, extra turn, if we had the clock that takes the delayed trigger off the stack, we could use like a Final Fortune or a Last Chance, but that's too cute. Remove all +1 counters from the Sage. No. Nope. Ah, if only Time Walk was affordable and we were able to play it. Warrior's Oath. I didn't know that got a reprint. Take an extra turn after this one. During that turn, damage can't be prevented. At the beginning of your next end step, you lose the game. What? At the beginning of that turn's end step, you lose the game. Why is it in captions like that? Never seen that. Sage of the Hours, a lot of proliferation in the deck. Yeah, I sort of glazed over it. Is there a lot of proliferation? Maybe it's worth it. Remove all +1/+1 counters for each 5 counters removed this way. Take an extra turn. Let me sideboard it. Here, it's Sage of the Hours. Sage of Hours, excuse me. We'll give it a go. In the sideboard. Chance for Glory. Is this one of the ones where we lose the game as well? Yeah, it is. Ichor Moon Gauntlet. I don't think is in the deck yet, so we'll add Ichor Moon Gauntlet. Gotta give it a try, people. Gotta see if it's worth it. Planeswalker to only look at Planeswalkers that give it bad filter combat tricks. I don't know if I want... Are there Planeswalkers that give extra turns? Savor the moment. Right? We like that. Flip a coin. If you win the flip, take an extra turn. That's too cute. During your upkeep, if you have 5 or less life, sacrifice second chance, take an extra turn. Hold up. At the beginning of your upkeep, if you have 5 or less life, sacrifice second chance. Second chance... Is there a combo here? Because it doesn't exile itself. You just need something to bring it back, like a Savine's Reclamation type of effect. Or an Isochron Scepter with some sort of recovery effect for second chance. But if we were to put ourselves at 5 life, we had infinite turns. That's how my mind works, by the way. Not particularly good, but it works. I think Ral Zarek is like the one buy. Ichor Moon Gauntlet plus 5 Planeswalkers plus Sage of Hours, infinite turns. So, proliferate. We just need 5 Planeswalkers. Let's do it. I don't disagree. Okay, so we're going to add Soul Ring because it's a must. Mana Crypt because it's a must. We're going to add Mana Vault because it's kind of a must, maybe? Maybe. Sure. Let's just say it's a must. I'm going to look up the word Talisman. I'm going to put Arcane Signet in. I'm going to put Chrome Mox in. I'm going to put Mox Diamond in. Blah, Lotus Petal. Yeah, Jeweled Lotus. Did you pull another one? Hopefully. Make that pack worth it, baby boy. And now we're going to add some tallies. And we're going to do all of the tallies. Talisman of Conviction. I can't say that these are all going to be worth it, but we're going to add all of them. And it may be advisable to roll with some sort of untappy planeswalker. I don't know if we added all the untappy planeswalkers or how many we have in here. But Talisman of Progress. Fellwar Stone. Did I get all the good two CMC ones? I think I did. We're not gonna put the signets in here because I'm not feeling them, okay? Oh, it's total jank, I know. Well, thank you for the suggestion regardless. I'm with it. Like, I want it to happen. You need 6 to keep 1 counter. You'd run out, wouldn't be able to trigger a heroic. Well, 6 planeswalkers is just as doable, I feel, as 5 planeswalkers, so we'll just push it. Push it to the limit. All right. We should probably add Mystic Remora and Rhystic Study, right? I've heard those are good cards. Let's just add some of those draw utilities really quick. Give me the white one, Esper Sentinel. I'm going to save this so that you all can see the current list. I was worried about that. Jeweled Lotus, huh? Okay. All right. And safe of the hours? What did I put? Where'd he go? We're just going to take it out for now. How many cards do I have? We've got 61 cards. Okay, so there's plenty of... Ooh. Ooh. Ooh, I didn't know. I didn't know about this. This is obnoxious. Look at this Planeswalkers text box. Oh my gosh. But the art is glorious. Oh my god, what? Oh. I didn't know this existed. Oh, I want to play this. What? If you don't like Metal Gear Solid, you probably wouldn't recognize Yoji Shinkawa's art. That's good. That's really good. Did I know that Shinkawa did art for Magic? Oh, that's so damn good. At any rate, we're just adding staples. So any sort of staple effects that you want to include, let me know. I will just run the Intuition. I'm just putting it in. Don't ask me why. Intuition, Lion's Eye Diamond. Who knows? Maybe we'll use it. We're using an Elemental Cat, so Savine's Wreck is going to go in there anyways, so you might as well just have all the other cards. I think Underworld Breach is something that we would actually do. Seems okay. Yeah, so we're going to want all of those. Again, I think I added all of the relevant 0-drop fast mana. Think, being the operative word. I'll do Rite of Flame. Rite of Flame is not bad here. It's decent ramp. So far as other rituals are concerned, maybe a Jeska's Will would be good, but that's maybe the other ritual I'll use, and not much further than that. What's the win line? Dockside Loops? Oh, thank you. Dockside Extortionist. That's a good one. What are the win loops? So, Grinding Station. You could do... Well, there's a Displacer Kitten in the deck, and Displacer Kitten could let us... Displacer Kitten with Underworld Breach, right? Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, exile up to 1 target non-land permanent you control, then return that card to the battlefield under its owner's control. There's probably a Displacer Kitten line that I'm just unawares of, because I'm not too familiar with any Displacer Kitten lines that exist. Because I don't play blue in Commander. So, if you've got one for me, let me know. But this is probably an outlet with Underworld Breach. I'm just assuming there's an outlet here. And you would use this with something that would put something in my hand. And then I can cast that something. And then use my Planeswalkers to nuke people. Probably use my Planeswalkers to nuke people. Time Vault with Tezzeret for infinite turns. If only Time Vault were playable, Espresso. Yeah. Time Vault's amazing now. But yeah, it's banned everywhere. I like where your head's at, though. So, there is a play line with Grinding Station and Aetherflux Reservoir or Grape Shot. We can just do a Grape Shot kind of win here, and I'm fine with that. What other tutors would you want to incorporate? Let me know. I think we're going to use a Spellseeker, though. And we'll also, and specifically the new Spellseeker. Displacer seems great. Also will be one with Sulfim and maybe City of Fire. City of Fire? I don't know what Sulfim is. Mayhem Dominus. If a source you control... Whoa, 2 clips. Back up. Okay, source you control deal non-combat damage to a player, blah, blah, blah. Discard 2 cards, put an indestructible counter on Sulfim. Displacer Kitten, Teferi, Time Raveler, mana positive rocks, infinite mana, card draw. Plus can't be interrupted because of Teferi's static ability. Right. Now, if only you could read the Teferi we have in the deck. But I like this line of play. Not that Time Raveler. Where is he? Right here. Yeah, look at this super obnoxious version that we're running with. But you're suggesting that with Displacer Kitten, until your next turn you may cast a sorcery, return up to 1 target artifact, creature, or enchantment to its owner's hand, draw a card. So, you would use this with a 0 cost anything. It could be your Lion's Eye Diamond, I guess. Let's just say Lion's Eye Diamond, cast it. Flicker Teferi. I'm with Bai. I want to look at flicker effects really quick. Return exile, return battlefield, just so that we can get the most out of our Planeswalkers with the triggered ability on Leori. I agree with that. Brawlio says, what about Saheeli Ray and Spark Double? Not sure it would work, but in my mind that would go infinite. Spark Double. Spark Double, I feel like I remember the name. I'm going to look at I think like Ephemerate is one we might use if it hits permanents, like Planeswalkers. You have Spark Double enter the battlefield as a copy of a creature or Planeswalker you control, except it enters with an additional +1/+1 counter on it if it's a Planeswalker and enters with a loyalty on it instead. And it isn't legendary. So Spark Double, and you're saying Saheeli... Oh, no, forget the idea. Spark Double is no longer a creature. Cloudstone Curio, Planebound. Planebound. So Planebound's the only one I don't know. But you're talking about Chandra, Torch of Defiance. But let's see about that. Planebound Accomplice. You may put a Planeswalker card from your hand onto the battlefield. Sacrifice it at the beginning. Oh, ooh. I just like this. I don't know this card. Let me know if there are any other Planeswalker specific utility cards that you guys know of, because this is really good. I like this suggestion a lot. It's like a sneak attack for your Planeswalkers. Obviously, the sacrificing it kind of hurts, but at least it's not exile, I guess. It is relevant for the Underworld Breach line of play that it's like another thing you can exile from your graveyard instead. But I love that. That's sick as hell. Deification would be good since you're already picking up a Planeswalker type. Deification. I will actually put Cloudstone Curio, by the way. I'm with you on that. Enters battlefield, choose a Planeswalker type. You control the chosen type, has hexproof. Teferi, probably Teferi. As long as you control a creature, if damage dealt to a Planeswalker you control of the chosen type would result in loyalty counters being removed, instead all but one of those counters are removed. Huh. What a flavorful card. Let me add Cloudstone Curio. And I'm going to sideline Deification for now. I like the effect a lot. I'm not entirely certain I'm going to be rolling with it. Let me look at these flicker effects really quick, and then I kind of want to incorporate more tutors, relevant tutors. I don't know how many tutors are really relevant to this deck, but more tutors that you guys want. I think some stacks and some interaction. Honor-Worn Shaku. Honor-Worn Shaku is cool because Shaku lets you tap any legendary permanent you control. Untap Honor-Worn Shaku, so it's going to generate a lot of generic mana. We could. Felidar Guardian and Saheeli Ray. Um, Arena Rector, we just don't have a good way to kill Arena Rector, sadly. Pup Stomp. I'm not on Saheeli Ray. Do we want to be on Saheeli Ray? Oh damn, this poll's been going on for a while, and it looks like we want to build it casually with 24 votes. 24 votes and 10 viewers right now? Where are these people going? Instant sorcery tutors to tutor your planeswalker. Tutor, exactly. Actually, hold up. What's it called? I'm so far off course. Like, I need to look at the flicker effects. It is called transmute. It's called transmute, people, okay? We might actually roll with some of the transmutes. I need to look at our relevant cost, but okay. So like Teferi Time Ravelers 3, right? We could use this to discard this card, search your library for a card with the same converted mana cost, and put this into your hand. We can use Drift of Phantasms to find Teferi Time Raveler, right? Yeah. Sure. That feels weird. But sure, Drift of Phantasms. But yes, that's the most direct tutor I can think of. If there's another tutor for other relevant planeswalkers, let me know. Muddle the Mixture is not a horrible card either. Like, I might just add Muddle the Mixture anyways. So awkward. I'm gonna refrain from now, but let me look at this really quick. Oh, we get Saheeli Ray! Create a token that's a copy of target artifact or a creature you control, except it's an artifact in addition to its other types. That token gains haste. Oh, I like this. I like this with the kitty. That's fine. We can add Saheeli, and we can add Felidar Guardian. Let's really flush out the play lines after this, though, because we've got a lot of stuff in the deck. Red Walkers throw damage at the Rector. Teku Thal is amazing as well. Teku Thal. If you would proliferate twice instead. Remove 3 counters from other artifact creature or planeswalker you control. Put indestructible counter on Teku Thal. That's really cheeky. The proliferate twice, because we don't have proliferate immediately available, and we're gonna have to find the Ickermoon Gauntlet, which is also 3 CMC. Board the Weatherlight. Here, let's look at that. Says Donald. Look at the top 5 cards in your library. Move your real historic. Put the rest at the bottom of your library. Okay, so this isn't Dig. In a 99 card singleton list, historic is a... Yeah. Oh, I have to believe that there's something better, but yes, Board the Weatherlight does make sense. I'm going to put it on the side for now. Let me save and continue editing this. Thank you for all the suggestions, by the way. These have been good. I like Honor Worn Shaku. Yes, here, it's honorary sideboard. Shaku board. Shaku. Okay. No, Donald, it's fine. It's only Dig 5. Like, that's not that deep, sadly. We will likely hit, but yeah, it's like we'll definitely hit with it, but I feel like, is it going to be exactly what we need? There's no saying. I need something that exiles a permanent or planeswalker and returns it to the battlefield specifically. So let's see if one exists. Shall we? Shall we? No? Okay. Not immediately seeing one. Oh, not immediately seeing one. No. I mean, technically we could use any sort of loop with Slip on the Ring. We can use any loop with if we have Dockside. Let me put Muddle the Mixture in just to find Dockside. I'm serious. So what we could do is use the... it's Selesnya. I was going to say we use the Unicorn to great effect, but that's not gonna work. Call the Gatewatch we have in the list currently. We do have Call the Gatewatch. That is one we hit. All creatures, huh? This is a target permanent, but awkward timing on it. Search for glory for tutoring. Search for glory. I think we looked at this one earlier, but it might be worth it. You never know. Legendary card. Search library. Yeah, no, search for glory. I'm 100% with you. I like it. I like it quite a lot. Okay, so yeah, we're not gonna find many flicker effects, I don't think, that work on our planeswalkers, sadly. So we're kind of SOL on that front. We're gonna have to just do this the old-fashioned way. Get that cat out. We need something for the Displacer Kitten. We need Transmute for Displacer Kitten. Okay, search. I think they're all blue anyways, but I'll do this. Let me just see if there's a 4 CMC one that we can just slot in really quick, and then I'll just do a quick search library. And then I want to add in all of our interaction, make our cuts, goldfish the deck. You know how it is. Teferi's Time Twist is another end-step blink effect, but it's instant speed. So maybe, yeah, what I wanted to do was, the goal was attack with Leori. Once Leori has used its triggered ability, then we're able to flicker the Planeswalker and like get double the double. Does that make sense? Like, we'll be able to use the ability multiple times in a turn. But there's not much of that going around. It's just the cat. There is no Force CMC. There's no Force CMC transmuter, sadly. That's okay. All right. Let me see if there's any more we missed though. And I don't hate Arena Rector. I just don't think there's a good way for us to get it to pop off. That's my only qualm with Arena Rector. Yes, Enlightened Tutor exists. I mean, yeah, we're obviously going to use it, but it's not like it's hyper important to the strategy of this deck, outside of finding Underworld Breach, I suppose, which is good. We'll add Gamble. Sorry, I'm looking for ones I haven't seen before, mind you. Mystical Tutor? Mystical Tutor, anyone? Gotta fix that. Mystical Tutor, yes, yes. Steel Shaper's Gift is cute and not useful here, but we got a new copy of it. Get hyped. All right. Yeah. No, I don't think any of these are going to be useful to us. Merchant Scroll is only blue instant speed spells. It sounds like a counter spell to me. We will actually use that. We're not on Brain Freeze, but we should be. Ethereal Usher transmutes for 3 and makes a creature unblockable. Ethereal Usher. I feel like I would have seen it, right? Or did I just not? Well, it transmutes for a 6-drop. We don't need a 6-drop, sadly. Thalia's Lancers grabs a legendary, but it's 5 CMC. Thalia's Lancers? I think I know the one. It is a little costly. That doesn't mean it's bad. Search your library for a legendary card, put it on into your hand, then shuffle. Well, we do need things to protect our Planeswalkers. It is costly, though. Oath of Gideon or Teferi. There can't be that many Oaths of, so I'm just going to look up all of them. Gideon says, each Planeswalker enters with additional loyalty counter 2/1/1 tokens on the battlefield. Okay. And Teferi. 5 CMC. You may activate the loyalty abilities of planeswalkers you control twice each turn rather than once. Huh. I don't dislike Oath of Teferi. We'll see if it sticks. I don't know if it will, personally, but I don't hate it. I do want a tutor for our artifact, so maybe like a transmute. Give me 1 second. Transmute artifact, I think, for the Ickermoon. I don't know how useful that's actually going to be for us, Ickermoon. Search your library for an artifact card or the mana value of it, and then put on the battlefield. Reshape is really cute. But again, I don't know if it's going to make worlds of difference to our deck or not. I think we might want to incorporate... Man, at least one tutor to find a artifact. I think it's going to be one of the mages, though, like a trinket mage. Did we already pass? Are they 3 CMC? I'm just looking for the mages. Tribute mage. Converted artifact, converted costs 2, reveal, put in your hand. Treasure mage. Spellseeker's in the deck already. Converted cost of 1 or less. Trophy mage. Random cost of 3. So we need the trophy mage. Minimally. I don't know if we're going to go beyond that. Okay. Oath of Teferi is best oath, to be honest. Resets a planeswalker and activating loyalty is twice as great value, especially with our Leori's ability. Considering Teferi is Master of Time, activating loyalty abilities every turn. That's true. Yeah. And Teferi, Master of Time is definitely in the list for sure for now. All right, so we need to add interaction and stacks. Think about the kind of stacks you would want to use. I would really prefer that it be single-sided. And honestly, I'd prefer it to be attached to a creature. I know Urza's Silex looks decent, but doesn't Urza's Silex wreck our shit? Does it not wreck our shit? Let's look at that. Is it super friendly of me to use this? I'll sideboard the Silex for now. We'll sideboard the Silex. Well, let's go ahead and look at some stacks pieces that are single-sided. Some of the obvious ones are going to be Dranith Magistrate. I can't think of any of the blue ones off the top of my head. If there's any really great blue ones, please let me know. Urza's Ruinous Blast. Urza Assemble of the Assemble the Titans is awesome. Urza Assemble the Titans. Cloudson, Curio, Shadow Torch Defiance, Planebound Accomplice, and any other Planeswalker gives you infinite activations of the Planeswalker. Zachary Kane, we're on all of those. So we're good on that front. And if you guys are jumping in now, feel free to follow along with the link in the description to see where the deck is in its current state. So you can make any suggestions of anything we might be missing as well. I think we will run Silence. I don't know all of the multicolored Silence effects, actually. So if there are any that I'm missing, I'd be happy to see them as we're scrolling through here. We've got... one stacks piece. Again, I would prefer these be attached to creatures so we have blockers as well. So like Archon of Emeria, obviously. Aura of Silence is really good. Archon of Emeria. Aura of Silence. Fiendslayer Paladin looks cool. I'll say that much. Okay. Ranger Captain of Eos is reaching for what now? Oh, you know what? I will do Ranger Captain because I want that. What is the 1 CMC white card that gets plus 20 plus 20 if your life is over 20 or something like that? Apostle? It gets lifelink and it has flying. The 1 drop. Please let me know. I think that makes a whole lot of sense in this deck. Any Super Friends list is probably going to enjoy that. Flame Scroll Celebrant backside if you need a creature for blocking the front side. Flame Scroll Celebrant. Oh yeah, that silence effect. Yeah, I think that Flame Scroll Celebrant makes the cut. But please let me know about the 1 CMC white creature spell that I'm thinking of. Sarah's Ascendant. Zachary, thank you. Sarah's Ascendant. Sarah Ascendant. This seems to make a lot of sense to me. I think we want that. Okay. That might be it. I mean, we could use a Ghostly Prison, if anything. Right, because this actually does stunt people from attacking us. Creatures can't attack you unless their controller pays 2 for each creature they control that's attacking you. This stops any sort of infinite creature combo that someone's rolling out against me unless they've also made infinite mana and they're able to have that mana float between steps and phases ending. But Ghostly Prison's not bad for us, I don't think. I do think that we actually do want this just to protect our... Well, we want this art, by the way. We want to protect our Planeswalkers from oncoming attacks, and if they're going to have to pay attacks, I don't think they're going to want to do that. I also think that a Smothering Tithe is worth it in this list as another tax effect. I don't think I put all of the draw utilities in this deck, and we could definitely use more draw utilities, so please let me know if there's anything beyond the Esper Sentinel, Mystic Remora, Rhystic Study that you would want. Oh, Norn's Annex is another, thank you, Donalds. Norn's Annex is another type of creatures can't attack you effect. It is specific, like they'll either lose white, they'll lose health, or they'll have to pay a white. I like Norn's Annex quite a bit. Because it's also just generic to cast out technically. And we're not too worried about we're not too worried about an ad nauseum or something like that. We do need to add in interaction by way of instant speed spells, and we also need to add in removal soon. Shonda Novice Pyromancer works with the above plane bound accomplice combo and can pump Leori in a pinch. Novice Pyromancer. I'll add her to the sideboard so we can look at her later. Ghostly doesn't stop attacks against Planeswalkers. Oh. Give me 1 second. That's relevant. Does Norn's Annex stop attacks against Planeswalkers? Can't attack you or Planeswalkers. And then Ghostly Prison specifically states just us. Players can't attack you. Yeah, we'll get rid of Ghostly then. If there's another effect similar to Norn's Annex, let me know. Peacekeeper is a card I've loved for a while, but can't find a great spot for. Maybe good for the Planeswalker strategy. Peacekeeper is another tax on attack. Is that accurate? Which Peacekeeper? Creatures cannot attack. This Peacekeeper? This one? No. I think it's you mean Peacekeeper. There's a Silent Arbiter. Silent Arbiter the one I'm thinking about? Like, he's not too hard to get out. No more than 1 creature can attack each combat. No more than 1 creature can block each combat. Silent Arbiter is really good. I think this will actually use because it's a 1/5 blocker, which is really relevant for our Planeswalkers. And it means that they can't swing board at us. Like it also affects Tymna players, honestly. Not that we need to be singling out any player at the table, but we do want to keep our Planeswalkers alive, so I do think that'll be good. Sphere of Safety. Sphere of Safety. I think I know the art, but I forget the card. So let's look at it. No, I don't know this card. Creatures can't attack you or planeswalkers you control unless they pay X or X is creatures. It's just a little too costly. But otherwise, it's a good card. The deck needs Ramicon. It's that big floating triangle. Yes, it is. Where? I get this. I 100% agree. Froggy, yeah. That's a good, that is a good suggestion. I like Pramicon quite a bit. It's whoa. I minimized it. That didn't affect anything for you guys. Our favorite triangle. Yeah, I agree. I like it a lot. Let's add interaction. Okay. Favorite counter spells. Go. What are your favorite counter spells? Dispel. Mental Misstep. Force of Will. Fierce Guardianship just got reprinted. Fierce Guardianship. I wish it was in the pre-con. Okay. We're not going to use Counterspell. We will use the Swan Song, though. That's a good one. I'm going to use Spell Snare, because I like Spell Snare. Nope. Hey. Spell Snare. We're going to use Miscast. We're going to use Pyroblast. Red Elemental Blast. Ooh, Dovin's Veto is cool. And we're in the colors. Force and Fierce. Thank you, thank you. Offer we can't refuse. Are people really on offer? Offer you can't refuse? An offer you can't refuse? Are people really playing it? I keep hearing it pop up. It's nice to know that it's played though. Wash Out. I gotta look at Wash Out. Oh, Chain of Vapor. I want to use. Wash Out. Return all permanents of color of your choice to the owner's hand. Ooh. That's gross. Dissipate. Sure, we'll put Dissipate in. I'm high on Stern Scolding. Okay. And, ooh, counter target creature spell. It hits a lot. Yeah, it hits a lot. It hits a lot of hate bears too. Yeah, I like it. I like it. I can understand why you would use Stern Scolding. There are a lot of counter spells though. I don't know if this one makes the cut. Did I say Sturm? I want to fix that. Oh, hey. Okay. Commandeer. Wash away, I think. Commandeer. Now give me your favorite removal. Favorite. Jeskai. Favorite Jeskai. Removal. Spells. Go! And is Abrade still on the menu? I think we're going to do Swords to Plowshares. Seems like a good card. So far as removal is concerned, I know it's not the same thing. Snap. I kind of want to put Phantasmal Image in. We could probably use Phantasmal Image to steal value. Where's Snap? Return target creature to its owner's hand, untap 2 lands. Like Snap is pretty good. I think Snap is good, and I also think that that white spell, Exile, May, Cast, Instant Speed, White, Soul Partition, Exile target non-land permanent. I actually quite like Soul Partition. It's good. In a pinch, it can also save your own thing because it only charges attacks to opponents. So it's actually quite good. I think Soul Partition deserves a spot. Settle the Wreckage. That's the mass wipe, right? Comeuppance is cute. Lightning Bolt. You know, Lightning Bolt doesn't get enough love. So yeah, we'll put Lightning Bolt. Imprisoned in the Moon. Settle the Wreckage. Exile all target attacking creatures. I do like it. I think that we're not going to be on it here necessarily. I don't have too many issues. I don't think we need to do that. We don't need that kind of removal. I do want to do Winds of Abandon. I think that's good creature removal. And more people should be playing it. Love Phantasmal Image, such good removal. Promise of Loyalty if rates are on the table. We need some artifact removal as well, and I think Abrade is still fine. I think that I like Meltdown. Vandal Blast is probably fine. Let's stop there and see what we got. Oh no, Red Elemental Blast was not found. Did I just put Red Element Blast? I did. Look at me. What a fool. What a fool I was. Okay. And Dovin's Veto Spell Snare. It's cards that don't exist. What are you guys suggesting is these cards that don't exist? I just need to remove that, and I need to remove... Where's my Spell Snare? I need to remove that, and that should do it. Come on, come on, come on, baby. It's like playing the lottery. There we go. We won. All right, we need to cut some things. We need to cut 20 things. Promise of Loyalty, though. I am curious. I am curious as to what you're suggesting. Huh. Is there a way, are there other things that put vow counters? That's such a weird, it's such a weird effect. Filter Out, maybe. Filter Out is a new one and quite good in my opinion. Return all non-creature, non-land permanents to their owner's hands. The only unfortunate bit is that it does affect our planeswalkers. Is there a non-planeswalker? Is there like a filter out that doesn't affect our planeswalkers? Right? I would love to bounce creatures to hand. Obviously, you know, I don't really want them to get their dockside back, but que sera. Shark Typhoon's really cute. One for the memes, but also you can make blockers to the planeswalkers. Shark Typhoon's legit. I think Justin owns and operates a cube, and Shark Typhoon was one of my favorite cards. If you haven't seen this enchantment, it's amazing. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, you create flying sharks equal to the mana cost, right? Or X is equal to its mana cost for attack and defense. But you can also cycle it. Cycling is generally how I played it. When you cycle it, you create an XX blue shark creature token, where X is equal to the cycling cost, whatever you put into it. Psych Rift. No. Zachary, we meant to put it there. We meant to put Cyclonic Rift in. It is, it's worth it. It will be worth it. It'll be. Trust me. Okay, so our land base is where it needs to be. And I want to talk about our combos. So, if you're looking at the deck, there is Cloudstone Loops. Cloudstone Loops with our Planeswalkers here. Oh my god, wait, are there more? There's a Dak Faden, an obnoxious Dak Faden as well. God, that's obnoxious. And an obnoxious Karn the Great Creator. I had no idea. That's almost too much. Okay, so we have Chandra Torch of Defiance. And so we were referencing a combo earlier with Chandra Torch of Defiance and I believe Cloudstone Curio was the line. I'm going to figure out as we go along. How about that? Check out Secret Lair, Shark Typhoon. It's beautiful. Okay. Oh my god. You know, I almost want to play it now. Shoot. I'm so close to playing it. Secret Lair, I bought it and I love them. Yeah, you're so right. Oh, that's super tempting. All right. Shark Week is soon. Is it Snowscape? Is Shark Week soon? I don't know. I haven't watched Shark Week in ages. And Planebound Accomplice, yes. Okay, so Planebound Accomplice is absolutely necessary. Did we add Muddle the Mixture to find Planebound? Okay, cool. I did. Okay, so it's infinite red mana because it cost 1 red to put the Planeswalker onto the battlefield from your hand. The only issue is that you have to sacrifice it at your end step. Okay. But what? Oh, so many good secret lairs. I keep finding new arts for, well, discovering new arts for cards that I like. All right, so Planebound Accomplice, Chandra, who we can also tutor up with our Drift of Phantasms, which is here. No, the 4 was the one we couldn't find. 4 is the one we couldn't find. I'm fine with just having Chandra Torch of Defiance. I think that's enough. The other thing we can do is a Intuition line, and ultimately we would storm into a win with Aetherflux Reservoir and Grape Shot, which should be in the deck as well. Grape Shot is sorcery. It's right there. Okay. That's enough wins for me. What's important now is that we nix a bunch of stuff to make sure we have space for all of this. So I'm going to look at the things that are non-essential first, which is everything outside of our Planeswalkers. It's not infinite red because you have to put the other walker out to bounce Chandra. Oh. It is infinite damage though. I guess it would be infinite red if it was Chandra into Chandra, but other than that, or if the Planeswalker were bouncing untaps artifacts, then it would be infinite colored with our artifacts. But yeah, that's okay though, because Chandra just, doesn't she just kill things? The one whatever we're bouncing would also happen to need to kill things. Ignore Commodore Guff. Commodore Guff is our Planeswalker. Jeez. Leori. Commodore Guff is a Planeswalker, and it is representing Leori in this deck. All right, moving on. We need to cut 21 cards. 7/23 is when Shark Week begins. God, I don't want to think about sharks. They just make me not want to go in the water. I think Felidar Guardian is probably not something we're going to play for. We will play for Displacer Kitten though. We don't have the Wanderer. Do you want the Wanderer? I mean, Froggy, we can't do the Leori thing with the Wanderer. But we could add a copy of the Wanderer if you really want. Whenever an opponent activates an ability that isn't a mana ability, it deals 1 damage to them. Okay. Flame Scroll Celebrant, I guess, is mostly for the silence on the back. Seems okay. Drifted Phantasms gets us a few 3-drops that we want. I guess namely Pramicon, who is the best Chrome Mox. Is the best Chrome Mox imprint. These all look good to me. I'm going to keep all of these where they are. Yeah, I was thinking of cutting Saheeli. There are other things I'd rather play for. It's just cheat? Okay, there she is. Well, man, it stinks because Saheeli is tutorable with our transmute. But yeah, I'm good without it. No, don't. It's too slow, I think. The Wanderer. Oh, God. There's a lot of Wanderers popping up here. No, we're good on the Wanderer. Mila's cute. Whenever an opponent attacks one of more of your Planeswalkers, put a loyalty counter on each Planeswalker you control. I like the draw effect on Mila. Mila has 2 effects I really like. I'm going to try to squeeze Mila in here if I can, but I think Mila will probably get cut ultimately. There is a Planeswalker on the back, though. Remember that. What do you think about Kaikar? I would rather just... Kaikar is great. Let me just say that. There are infinite combos for Kaikar as well. But you want Kaikar in here? Kaikar is fine, and we get some really cute art for Kaikar. I would almost just say build Kaikar instead, but you can put Kaikar in the deck for sure. Yeah, whenever you cast a non-creature spell, create a token. I think Narset of the Ancient Ways is in here. We're going to get there when we get there, but I think we might cut some Planeswalkers. I love Aura of Silence, don't get me wrong, it's just a little too costly. I'm feeling like Oath of Teferi is too costly, but I still want to run it. Let me go to sorceries next. That is cute art. I had no idea. Isn't that Ral? Isn't that Ral Zarek? Isn't that our Ral? I think it is. All right, Jessica's Will's probably cut. What blue instant speed spell are we grabbing? I wonder. I think we keep Merchant Scroll still. Meltdown, Vandal Blast. We need a little bit of removal. No, I've missed a brewing stream. Johan, you're good. You're here. You're here now. Could Teferi, who slows the sunset, be good? I didn't bother reading all the way through that Teferi. I'm not going to lie to you. It could be good. But the answer is yes. But we did look at that Teferi briefly. Tezzeret the Seeker is a good combo card with the suggested Accomplice. This one, right? Because we can use Teferi to untap some of our mana rocks here, Arcane Signet, Felwar Stone, predominantly, to do the same thing, right? Alongside another... I mean, if we're untapping 2 artifacts, I guess we could technically do it with just that. So this is going to kill me using these Planeswalkers, so I'm actually going to switch so that they're not obnoxious, because I do not want to look at that text box and try to figure them out. Even though I would probably use that version if I own these cards. Narset, Parter Veil, Chandra, Torture Defiance. Again, Commodore Guff is Leori, so ignore that. Jace the Mind Sculptor is good. And probably something that we want to manipulate multiple times, right? Look at the top. Sorry, the brainstorm effect on this. I don't know if it's good enough in Commander, though. Nor is Karn the Great Creator. I like Narset of the Ancient Way, but it is just a little slow relative to our other ones. I think that this is probably good on our Planeswalkers. Is Teferi... No, he's right there. Okay. No Chain Veil. Jason 2023. Should we just use Space Balarn? We can use Chain Veil. So Chain Veil is a combo card with a few of these Planeswalkers. Namely, so for each Planeswalker you control, you may activate its loyal ability, blobbity bloop. So if you use that with the, what is that, Teferi Chain Veil combo, this Teferi, untap up the 4 target permanents, you would use that with your Chain Veil. Power of Heroes, Leori, Displacer Kitten. Oh my god. James. It's true. That does work. Best tutor. Jason Chandra line is Infinite Brainstorm. Jace with Chandra line is Infinite Brainstorm? Space Balarn is quirky. It's just a quirky guy. Nah, it's probably worth it. Okay, we need to cut 15 cards. I'm getting a little scared, folks. Can we... Let's make some cuts. I don't think we're going to be able to make it. This list a reality is what I'm saying. Okay, so LED is in there just for the brain freeze intuition business. Right, Savine's Wreck, it's all in there. It's all in there. It's all in there. Read the notes. Cat Synergy, let's go. I know. That is totally worth it. If Pyre of Heroes is used strictly for that, it's totally worth it. But I guess we could do Human Monk into Human Wizard. Goblin Pirate. Neither of these are pirates, sadly. We're not going to get Dockside that way. But can Dockside be turned into a wall? No, can't. Mila, Fox. No, we don't have any foxes. Technically, Phantasmal Image could be used in a variety of ways. We don't have any Archons. We can get Flame Scroll Celebrant. We can get a few things out with Pyre of Heroes outside. Okay, so we can get into Ranger Captain of Eos as well. And I think this Spellseeker doesn't look like a human, that art, but she is. We're going to use the new one. We're going to use the new one. Like this one. I'm not a fan of Tithe in Talismans or Vandal Blast, but that's me. Honestly, we need to make some quick cuts. I like Tithe here just because of how costly everything is, but I agree with you. I think this Oath of Teferis is cute, too costly. I do want to keep some tallies in, and just based off of our cost here, I think we're going to stick with the white-blue one. I think we'll stick with the Azorius one for now, and we'll cut the others. That seems fair. Manifold is looking kind of but I still think it's good. And you were saying you don't like Vandal Blast. I'm okay on Vandal Blast, but I for the sake of cutting things, will agree with you. Rite of Flame is weird. It's not like we're trying to pop off really quickly, but Rite of Flame is a quick cast on some of our Planeswalkers, namely this one. I don't know if Rite of Flame is good enough, though. It's just a decent ritual, really, just to pay for the generic cost. I still like it. But we need to cut some things. What have we not looked at yet? Instant speed spells. So Force of Will, I heard it's good. Dissipate was added. Capture as well as exile. I think that instead of Dissipate, we're just going to say Fierce Guardianship is Dissipate, right? Or Force of Negation. Force of Negation didn't get put into the list yet, and we can make room for it. A Brade. We probably just use a bounce effect instead of a Brade, if I'm being honest. Probably just rely on a bounce effect or Soul Partition. Snap. I like Lightning Bolt. I like all these spells. Oh no, I like all these spells. We're stuck. An offer you can't refuse. Doesn't this make them make treasures? Counter target non-creature spell. Its controller creates 2 treasures. That is pretty good. Oof. What is Muddle grabbing most of the time? If we're gonna use Muddle the Mixture, right? Muddle the Mixture is gonna grab Dockside Extortionist. Muddle the Mixture will grab Pyre of Heroes. A tutor for a tutor. Muddle the Mixture can grab Cyclonic Rifts in a pinch. Muddle the Mixture can grab, it's not going to grab Grape Shot. Underworld Breach is a very valid target for Muddle the Mixture. If we have the appropriate tutor in our graveyard already, it's useful. But the tutor would need to be, God, far and few between, like that gamble, really. I could see Muddle the Mixture being cut. Ragavan goes into Dockside. I like Ragavan, and I see what you're saying, James. I do think we need to make some cuts before we can make that dream a reality, though. I could see us cutting Muddle the Mixture. I do want to keep Drift of Phantasms for one of our Planeswalkers, though. I do think that's still relevant. It's a really shitty card to have to run otherwise, but I do think it's relevant. I can just cut this last Talisman now just to clear it off my mind to give us the space. I like Norn's Annex still enough. Is Norn's Annex enough of a deterrent? I'd rather just keep Silent Arbiter and just have that be our one thing. And we need to cut 5 more cards. Ichor Moon Gauntlet. I'm really trying to make heads or tails whether I like Ichor Moon Gauntlet enough. Because that was one of the things that Drift of Phantasms in my mind would grab. I agree on Manifold, though, that it's a potential cut. Yeah, I mean, we have plenty of walkers that untap things, but how many of them are we actually using? We've got Tezzeret. We've got target creature control phases out. You may activate load, draw a card, discard a card. Take 200 extra turns. We're really looking at this Teferi for the extra turns. Really. But we're not going to get there that quickly. I think this Teferi can come out. Am I crazy? I think it can come out. Let me know if I'm crazy. I think this Karn can come out. We're really just on Torch of Defiance. We're not on that many friends. We don't have that many friends in this list. We need to keep the Planeswalkers that are here. I do like that our Drifted Phantasms can grab these three. Part of Veil's as good as Stacks. Stack Faden's just good in my opinion. I like this Teferi a bit. Until your next turn, you make bloop bloop bloop. Return target bloop bloop bloop. Jeweled Lotus seems bad with 3 CMC commander of different colors. I agree, but it's really not that different than like a Lotus Petal in that regard, but we can get rid of it. Let's just say it's for budget constraints. Also, the simple fact that we need to make space. Really, the big one is Dockside. I mean, Muddle the Mixture just for Dockside feels more important than Muddle the Mixture for anything else, but I think that, God, Drifted Phantasms is probably going to hit Rhystic Study more often than not. Because we need draw. I can see draw being a major issue for us. And Planebound Accomplice I like a lot, but my main issue is that we don't have too many Planeswalkers to really roll out with him. It's more narrow than Lotus Petal. No, it is. It is. I agree, Zachary. I think that for the most part, Lotus Petal is probably going to be used to help us get out our commander in the same fashion. But there are more plays for Lotus Petal, sure. Is Planebound Accomplice still worthwhile with as few? I mean, it's really Cloudstone Curio, Planebound Accomplice. The real win con here is not really relying on our Planeswalkers, if I'm being frank. It's more or less relying on the Grape Shot Etherflux line. But Displacer Kitten is going to combo with whenever you cast a non-creature spell, exile up to one target non-land permanent, then put onto the battlefield. That's going to give us the, what is it? Return. It's going to give us the, didn't we have a line of play with this? We did have a line of play with this. I just don't remember because I don't play Planeswalkers often. Both are fetchable with Drift of Phantasms. Okay, bear with me, guys. I want all of our dreams to come true. I mean it. I just trying to remember the line of play with our not Cloudstone Curio, but the Displacer Kitten. So Displacer Kitten is going to help us flicker our Planeswalkers in and out to just manipulate them. But we don't have that many Planeswalkers. We've got Dak Faden, Teferi. Till your next end step, you may cast those. That's not useful. That's useful, but it's not the most important thing. Return to draw a card. So yeah, okay, never mind. This is going to help with our Teferi Time Raveler to win. Dak Faden, gain control of target artifacts. Draw 2 cards, discard 2 cards. That's not so bad. Teferi, 0 mana rock. Right. Yeah, that's really the only play for Displacer Kitten, but if we have Teferi, we have it. Are you playing the One Ring? Not here. I wouldn't say it's necessarily good here, but it might be necessary because we do need draw. I think that going for the Mystic Remora Rhystic Study for draw is probably the best thing in the world. Although Tezzeret the Seeker could find the One Ring. How about that? Tezzeret could find the One Ring. But Tezzeret, we're just going to need to luck into. So, unless we tutor for it. But I think our tutors are predominantly going to go for Teferi here. Okay, what do we need to cut? We need to cut 2 more cards. Let's focus on that really quick. I think that we can get rid of Saheeli Ray and Felidar, specific combo for the deck. It's not the best, but it's flavored. Braulio, I'm with you. We do have the Guardian off to the side and Saheeli. I'm more into Teferi Displacer, though, for now. But that could change. Thassa's Oracle and the One Ring is wildly stronger than you ever think it will be. Oh. I mean, the One Ring is just strong by itself, but you can add her in if you want. Yeah, but no protection if any arrive at the battlefield with Tezzeret. Yeah. I'm having a tough time making cuts here, honestly, guys. This is a really, it's not super friendly enough. I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 friends is enough, right? Is 6 friends a lot? You let me know. How many friends do you keep? I like Savor the Moment, but I can't say it's great unless we have Planeswalkers on the battlefield. I think I could probably eliminate Grape Shot and just stick with Aetherflux Reservoir in the grinding station line. And they're both relying on artifacts, really. I think removing Grape Shot's fine because it was really just there as an outlet. I still think we want to incorporate Force of Negation, but I'm not going to make space for it now. I'd cut Stern Scolding and Pramicon. I'm going to cut Pramicon for now. I would say maybe Stern Scolding for... I like Stern Scolding, but I would rather have Force of Negation, and then we'll call it a day. Let's do Force of Negation and try this list out, see if it's any good. To be frank, I don't know if it will be. All right, here. Let's save. Oh my gosh. That was mind-numbing, folks. That was really difficult to do. I can't think this hard in the middle of my day. Oh, okay. So, we have what amounts to a Underworld Breach combo line and or a potential Cloudstone Curio Accomplice line, because we kept Accomplice in, or a Teferi Displacer line. But I don't know how quickly or easily we'll get to any one of those lines, because we're lacking tutors that are relevant for 1 to 2 cards out of those combos, right? And a lot of our tutors will be used for, like, you know, the transmute tutors. We'll only be able to find parts of those combos, right? It's tricky, but as I get older, I cut out my friends too. Damn, Braulio. I get that. We can have a separate stream about the friends you keep if you want, but yeah. I don't know how many friends do you need in a list for it to be called Super Friends? How many friends do you need in a list for it to be called Super Friends? Let me know in the chat. I'm curious about that. But I think 6 Planeswalkers is probably enough. That's more than most decks, I think. But with that out of the way, guys, if you enjoyed this stream, feel free to leave it a like. Again, it helps the video on demand aspect of this quite a bit. And hopefully we can use this as a blueprint for other players to make their own Leori Sparktouched Hunter. I can't say how good this will be, but I am very curious to find out. All right, let's go. Is this a keepable hand? We can turn 1 the Underworld Breach, right? It seems good. Mystical Tutor, Instant or Sorcery. Put it on top of your library. I don't hate this, but I can't say it's doing too much. Let's keep it. I just want to see what happens. I don't know what instant or sorcery we're finding. I think intuition, right? We have the Underworld Breach in hand. Let's just keep this. Okay, draw a card. Yeah, Grinding Station, Underworld Breach right there. This seems to be playing itself. I'm not going to pretend like we really care about our Leori line of play here. You know, this is Leori. Sure, let's go. It's a 1 lander, mind you, so that's no good. For what we have here, I think Volcanic Island is probably the choice. The Phantasmal Image is going to want to copy a Dockside Extortionist, ideally, but we might not find that. I think that Rite of Flame here is nice, but maybe the thing we cut from our hand. I would like to pretend Z's believe that we're going to see a Dockside Extortionist. Usually people will push for that early after things have sort of built up on the board. Enchantment and artifacts, really. We're probably going to want to go for the Felwar Stone and hold, and then we'll do the Mystical Tutor. I think Mystical Tutor, again, is going to go for bloop, Intuition. Shuffle, 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 shuffle. Put Intuition on top of the deck. You know what? Am I foolish for getting rid of the Rite of Flame? Maybe. We want to hold for intuition because we can't do it right now. Let's go ahead and Phantasmal Image, I guess. I was going to do Pretensies say that there is a Dockside Extortionist in play, but why don't we just wait for off-turn Intuition instead? That seems fair. Seems like fair magic. All right, so the Intuition pile for this list right now is going to be... There's no Pact of Negation. Should have thought about this. We don't force... Okay, so Pact of Negation is the only free spell that we have that's going to work as a counter from our grave. Yeepers, I'm late. Hope it was a fun attack. Blood. Yeah, it was interesting. I can say that. This deck is interesting. You're about to watch an Intuition line. Hope that's interesting for you. Lion's Eye Diamond. And we might as well put Brain Freeze in the grave. So they're definitely going to give us the Brain Freeze from this pile. Underworld Breach is in our hand very clearly because we didn't put it in this pile. But that's fine. I think that this would be the way I would go with this, and they would give us Brain Freeze, like the 100% give us Brain Freeze. And then we put Lion's Eye Diamond in there, and we put Sivian's Reclamation there. Okay, next turn. Hey, land. All right, so now the board should be filled with artifacts. We're going to Phantasmal Image the Dockside, presumably. We're going to give ourselves... How many treasures is too many treasures? I think on turn 3, if it really went this long, we could say that we got 6 treasures, and that's being modest. Okay, so that's 1 spell. This is 2 spell. Is it okay? I hope it's okay. All right, so at this point, you can kind of figure what's going to happen here. I will Brain Freeze myself to start with the treasures. And then dump a bunch of cards in my graveyard. 1, 2, 3. 3 cards with Brain Freeze, right? Storm count of 1, 2, just 2, 3. Okay, so 3 cards. Goes in my grave. And we can use Grinding Station as well with some of our artifacts, but at this point we're going to push for the Ether Flux Reservoir for a win. Very uneventful, very unexciting. I do want to do the thing with our Planeswalkers though, so let's see if we can get there instead. Okay. With a land, this would have been passable potentially, but nope, didn't get there. Okay. Yeah. This has a land and a silence. We're gonna keep plucking away at these until we find a potential keeper. If we had a white resource, this would be really good. Let's see if we get it. Okay, no good. Huh. No. Ooh. I like the thought of this hand. Can you see all those cards? Lightning Bolt, Prismatic Vista, Mila, Drannith Magistrate, Lotus Petal. So 2 lands, which is, good to start with. We got a friend. We got a friend in hand. We have 3 mana technically by turn 2. That's cool. That's enough for Mila. Mila by herself is probably not enough. At turn 1, Drannith Magistrate is not good enough for me. I mean, I would really love to start with the Mystic Rumor or the Esper Sentinel, like, being playable. Okay. That was me drawing into a land. Let's just pretend. Because this hand is good. If we could actually keep this hand, it's good. Because there's a lot of low-end things to do. So we can actually keep this hand because I cheesed it. We're going to get that gamble's so good, but we're going to get a white and blue resource. It's going to be the Tundra for this deck. And we'll do Esper Sentinel. Okay, shuffle, 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 shuffle. If I was on the play, let's give ourselves every advantage. I'll say that we get 1, 2 draws. Cool, 3 draws. Wow, that sucked. Haha. We've got plenty to do off turn. We're going to discard the Aetherflux Reservoir because we can get it back later. And we'll discard the Mila because that's useless right now. I'll get 1 draw if that doesn't work out. Cool. Next turn. No lands. Oh my gosh. Okay, no lands until just there. That's no good. Didn't really expect that. I want us to do things with Planeswalkers, though, so let's see if we can get there. This is a good hand. Okay, Ancient Tomb, Arcane Signet. Go. Next turn. I said it's a good hand, only because we don't have to worry about our lands, but it's not great. We'll go for... Nope, can't go for the commander yet, but I will go for the Silent Arbiter. Just get that out of the way. What do you think about the commander? Is it just too expensive? Guff as a commander? I don't mind Guff as a commander, and Guff kind of works as an outlet too, right? Isn't there something you can do with Guff to make it go infinite in POW? Right? Draw X cards, deals X damage to each opponent, where X is the number of Planeswalkers you control. If you've got a way to use the -3 repeatedly, then you just have an outlet. That's not bad. I don't mind Guff as its own commander, but I kind of prefer Leori, but I can't really say that Leori's been doing much for us yet. We've only Goldfish so many instances, but you can do Guff, and I don't think Guff would be bad. If you suspect someone's going to try to win the game, I wouldn't go play Silent Arbiter right now, but as it stands, it's fine. Okay, so let's go P Vista. We'll get our basic island out of the way. We've got one in the deck. Let's go for Leori. This is Leori, technically. 1, 2, 3. Again, if you suspect someone's going to win, do hold mana. I'll put up miscast mana. We've got Fierce Guardianship and miscast mana. I think we have all of our basics out of the way now, by the way. Next turn, no Planeswalker. We did get a proliferate land. That's cute. We'll put the planes down because it's all the same. Hold. This is where you're going to wish you had draw or some form of tutor, and we don't. All right, let's just say we have to use miscast off turn. Cool. Next turn. Wow, and now we're just getting flooded with mana. Okay. Oof. It was going to be a while till we can actually do anything. Leori is useless by itself, sadly. Leori is not doing much unless you have a friend in play. This hand could have like staved off some stuff for a minute there and it would have just produced a lot of mana. And we would be able to attack with a Vigilant Cat, but that's really, again, not much. I kind of wish like Leori had a effect that was beneficial if you didn't control a Planeswalker, right? How great would that be? But Leori is super dependent rather on there being a Planeswalker. So I'm going to give this one more crack and then we'll see what's what. Hey, this is off topic, but have you revisited Narumea recently? I just found Displacer Kitten and Jin Gitaxias from Neon Dynasty have really upgraded list. No, I have not. That was Justin's baby, really, but I'm not sure if he's really done much to tweak it since recently. The starting hand was fine, is why I'm keeping it. I think that we kind of want to grab, with Enlightened Tutor, we want to grab Mystic Remora really desperately. Really desperately. Draw is really crucial. I mean, part of me also wants to grab just Ristic Study because it's a simpler effect, but we can get to Mystic Remora much quicker, so we'll do that. Did I draw a card? Did I draw a card earlier? Hold up. Yeah, no, I drew a card. Okay, that goes on top. Cool. Boom. P Vista is going to grab our basic islands. We'll do the fish. And then watch as people fling spells out of their hand. So we'll draw 1 card, 2 card, 3 card. I think that's fair to say we did. And I will pay for the fish with the white. We have Cloudstone Curio as Elisar the Elfstone. Sure. We're going to do this for the Tundra. Just looking at our hand. Yes, I want to get red going for us, but no, we'll do Plateau. We'll do Plateau. I want to get that Chandra out. Boop, boop, and we'll do Arcane Signet. Yes, tapping out is probably bad to do, but we're in a bad spot, so. We'll use this and this to keep the fish alive. We'll say we drew 2 cards there, and this is our land per turn. Where? Do we pay for the fish? We'll let the fish die. Okay. We still don't have the mana to play Chandra. No, we do. I'm sorry. I'm lying. I want to have a friend out, okay? I think we put our friend down. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I think we put our other friend down, Sarah Ascendant, to keep our other friend alive. We got 2 friends out here. 30 more life, flying. This is just a really good blocker. Is there something to do with the double red? Not really. But this is fine. Sure. Okay. We will exile the top card of our library and look at it. You may cast that card. If you don't, Chandra deals 2 damage. Man, I would hate to exile something we actually needed. Hopefully it's something we can play with. Nope, Ranger Captain of Eos. Exiled. That's cool. Someone takes 2 damage. You take 2 damage. Okay. Next turn. Cool. So we have Cloudstone Curio. We need the Accomplice to get the ball rolling on an infinite combo, right? But we need the Accomplice and an additional Planeswalker. We can actually transmute Drift of Phantasms to get Accomplice, but we still need another Planeswalker. It might have been better just to keep the fish around, but that's okay. So let's go ahead and put... We have no haste enabling, so it's not like we're going to get much out of this now. But minimally, we can at least attack with the Sarah Ascendant and still have a flying blocker, right? So we'll attack with the Sarah Ascendant. Sorry, we'll do this, this, and... nope. This, and this to play Leori. I will play... Huh. I wonder if Cloudstone Curio makes any sense right now. I don't think it does. What we could do is use Intuition with Chandra's ability. I think we should just do... We should just put the Ickermoon Gauntlets out. To be perfectly honest, with +1 on Chandra, double red, and then we'll use the Tundra for blue. I don't see why anyone would care about Ickermoon Gauntlets. Like, this deck is not doing a whole lot right now. And the best interaction we have off turn is nothing. We have nothing. Chain of Vapor. But we use blue mana to put Ickermoon Gauntlets down. I just want to get the ball rolling on some form of strategy. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, choose a counter, not a permanent, an additional counter. So technically, Chandra should be at, with the +1 and another +1, she should be at 6. So people could be concerned about her, but I think they should be concerned about her because we've just threatened Leori to give us the ability to use a +1 and then ultimate on Chandra. But I would much rather just keep her around. Anyways. Let's just say that's cool with everyone. Bloop. Land per turn. Let's go ahead and this go around. We're going to get Volcanic Islands. Okay, so what do we do here to win the game? Is there a fun way we can win the game? I wouldn't say it's fun, but we're probably going to do the intuition thing. We have Brain Freeze in hand. It just makes sense. We'll probably use the +1 on Chandra twice to just give us more options and be able to cast those spells technically. But let's look at Ickermoon Gauntlet again. So this lets us proliferate, which is less relevant because we don't have too many Planeswalkers. And whenever you cast a non-creature spell, put a counter on a chosen permanent. Whenever you cast a spell, choose a counter on target permanent, put an additional counter on. So we can actually get to Chandra's ultimate and be able to maybe nuke people, right? So we can use her emblem as a payoff here. So if no one actually hit her, we can use... I'm trying to think of a way to win that isn't going to rely on Underworld Breach off of Intuition. That's what I'm doing right now, if you're wondering. We do have Call the Gatewatch to get another Planeswalker. We need, with the Cloudstone Curio loop, we need a... Oh god. I totally forgot. What do we want to do with the Cloudstone Curio loop? I think that it would be the Accomplice in Cloudstone Curio, right? But we just don't have a way to get the Accomplice out unless we used Underworld Breach with Intuition. Actually, if we Intuitioned the Accomplice in like lines, no, in Savine's Reclamation and Underworld Breach, I think they would give us Accomplice, right? They would 100% give us Accomplice. Okay, let's do this. We'll do Intuition. Okay, let's attack with Leori. We're going to say Chandra. Okay, so we attack with Leori, we say Chandra. We're going to use Chandra's +1 ability to go make 4 red mana. Just bear with me. Okay, bear with me. We're going to make 4 red mana. I will use this in an island to cast Intuition. We have 2 red mana. I'm going to grab Accomplice. I'm going to grab Underworld Breach. And I'm going to grab Savine's Reclamation. Would I recommend you do this, what I'm doing right now? Not at all. Don't do what I'm doing. There are better things to do, but we're going to win the Planeswalker way. We're going to win the Super Friends way, damn it. That's why we're doing this stream. So I show you these things. What will you give me? You 100% give me Accomplice. You don't want me to have these 2 things? Right? Okay, this only makes sense. So you're going to put those away. I get Accomplice. Do I have the mana to make this work? I don't really think I do, but I'm pushing for it anyways. So, oh, did I guess the counters don't really matter here. I'm not even going to track the Ichor Moon Gauntlet. I'm not concerned about that. We'll cast the Accomplice with the 2 floating red and the white. I really hope I have enough mana to make this work right now. I don't think I do. No, I don't. I really don't. We're gonna... Cloudstone Curio. Oh, God. Oh, we don't have mana for shit. We need to call the Gatewatch and Cloudstone Curio. Oh my God, this is so bad. We're gonna hold. We're just gonna hold here. That's the best we can do. Oh, is it okay if we just hold? Yeah, is everyone okay? We have Chain of Vapor to protect something if we need to. Cool. Wait, could we use Chain of Vapor? Yes, we might still win. Hold up. We're gonna use the Tundra to Chain of Vapor Chandra to my hand. Okay. Then the target may sacrifice a land. If they do so, he or she may copy the spell and do it to a new target. Is there a target that's relevant to do this to? I don't think so. We're gonna let Chain of Vapor go away. Okay. Now I will tap the Tundra, or Plateau, excuse me, to use the Planesbound Accomplice ability to put Chandra back onto the battlefield. Okay. Now I'm going to go +1/+1 again to get 4 red mana. Okay. I still don't think this is enough. No, it's definitely not enough. We're going to call the Gatewatch. 2 red. Call the Gatewatch to get another Planeswalker. The Planeswalker we're going to grab is... I need to look at my Planeswalkers. Hold up. Which Planeswalker do we grab? We're going to win the Planeswalker way, damn it. Oh, Dak Faden could steal an artifact. Is that useful? Maybe. Wait, Ralzeric? Okay, no. I think we want Teferi. Do we want Teferi? Let me look at my board state. Oh, no, we want Tezzeret. Do we want Tezzeret? We need to put Cloudstone Curio on the battlefield, and I think the potential best way to do that is stealing an artifact, but they'll just tap the artifact. Ral Zarek we could put on the battlefield, tap target permanent, then untap another target permanent. Okay, so maybe Ral. Or Teferi. Until your next turn, you may kind of return an artifact, a creature, or enchantment card to its owner's hand, and then draw a card. I think if we use this to return, it won't return Chandra. No. Okay, it's gonna work. It's gonna work, damn it. I think we use Teferi, right? All right, so we've got 2 red floating. No, we've got nothing. Because if we do Teferi, hold up, we do Teferi to put Teferi on the battlefield with the Accomplice. Okay. We've got 1 red floating. I will put Chandra back into my hand with the... Nope. We need Cloudstone Curio to bounce her back to hand. So what is Teferi doing? What is he putting? Return a creature or enchantment or artifact. We don't have any useful artifacts to return to our hand, sadly. We're gonna grab Ralzeric. I promise it's gonna work, okay? Just stay with me, folks. We're gonna put Ralzeric onto the battlefield instead. Does this work? Tap target permanent, then untap target permanent. All right, I'm gonna untap this Arcane Signet and I'll tap one of my opponent's things. Sure. This does not give me enough mana to do the thing. And we really need to do this after we've put... We need to do this after we've put Cloudstone Curio onto the battlefield. There's no hope. Okay, we really tried. All right, bottom line. If you suffered through that with me, thank you. Let me know if there was a play line that was available that I just wasn't seeing that won the Planeswalker way, okay? Because I'm sure that there was maybe something we could have done with Savine's Reclamation and Underworld Breach to like help expedite that process, right? We had Brain Freeze in hand, so clearly just shooting for that would have made so much more sense. Way, way, way more sense. We should not have been struggling as hard as we were, but we had to win the Super Friends way. If we're not winning with our friends, then are we really winning at all? I don't think so. Maybe there was something... We needed Cloudstone Curio on the battlefield, and I think that Tezzeret might have been the play because it could have helped us search for Mana Vault, and then maybe we could have played Mana Vault and then played Cloudstone Curio, but then we needed to wait to put Chandra down to do that. Oh my lord. Too much thought. At any rate, is Leori good? I think that this combo is so convoluted. I love it, Froggy. No, I don't know if I like. I don't know if I can say I love it. It was there is a way to get there, and I'm sure someone else, a better pilot than me, could have done it. But man, that was taxing on the brain. I need to just fuel myself with something after that. Like I feel like I've burned calories like working on that play line. It was so bad. But Leori, it's fine. I think that this is a good primer for someone who wants to build Leori Sparktouched Hunter. Is this the best one? I think that it's probably as good as it gets. You can probably add in a few more friends, for sure. But you're probably going to rely on the intuition, Underworld Breach, Brain Freeze, Lion's Eye Diamond, that sort of thing, and just storm off into a win that way. Or use that as a setup to win with your Planeswalkers, because there are a ton of ways to actually win with the Planeswalkers here. They're just very cost prohibitive, as we found. Like Cloudstone Curio, Planebound Accomplice, and Chandra, that would have worked. It's just it was a high setup cost. Again, I think that just using the Savine's Rack to get the Underworld Breach and then setting it up that way, right, after getting an LED from the deck and like just making a lot of mana and brain freezing myself, that would have made more sense. And we had the requisite mana to actually do that. But otherwise, thanks for joining me on this one, folks. I had a lot of fun. I hope you did. I'm hungry now. My head hurts. I need to take a break. Playing much Jeskai Ishai. Deck's sweet. No, I haven't, but Ishai is really sweet. I think Ishai is kind of an underrated partner. So I could actually make and obviously that combo works really well together. But no, that seems like a fun list. This was an okay list. I encourage you to make your own. Let me know if yours plays better than mine in the comments. It probably will. Also, let me know if you're interested in Brawl potentially, like some Brawl gameplay. I kind of want to give it a go on the MTG Arena just to see if it's any fun. If not, then we'll all drop it. But thanks, guys, for joining me on this one again. I'm Patrick Marlette, your local game guy. Feel free to leave this a like if you enjoyed it, and I'll see you this weekend, probably. Brawlio, thanks. Been thinking about Kodama Ishai. Ooh, that does sound good. God, that really hurt my brain. That actually hurt my brain. That was so difficult.